show can be a little gay,
but if you're not,
that's okay.
You can listen and have fun either way.
Xena, Star Wars, Doctor Who, guests and music and reviews, Game of Thrones,
Winona too.
we promise there's something for you. She nerds out. We're girls that like nerdy things. Nerdy things.
Hello and welcome to the She Nerds Out podcast. I'm Kat.
I'm Wendy.
And this is Tara.
On today's episode, we have a list. We have a list we're going to revisit and tear apart. We have a mail sack, and we're testing out a brand new segment called This Week in Snopping. Working title. But first, hey Wendy.
Yeah.
What's going on?
What you need? Let's see. I got birthdays. How about that?
Oh, let's do that.
Ahem. I'm gonna do two from April 29th.
Okay.
First of which being, do we go with legend? I know if you talk to my friend Lori, the fact she was in Greece too makes her legend. That would be Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Here, put on your wizard hat.
The Pfeiffer.
Let me think about this. I'm going to say
Michelle Pfeiffer.
67, turning 67.
Whoa. I'm saying I was going to say 63, but we always do this. So I'm going to say 65. Split the diff.
Hang on. The math got hard. Wait a minute. Hang on.
Oh boy.
66.
Oh.
Very close.
Okay.
I don't know why I confused myself.
All right.
Math is
I was
hard.
born in
you know?
58, so you know.
Okay.
Usually I know this though. I'm gonna do another one on that date because I know Tara, you're in particular have become interested in this woman and her show she was on, amongst others. That would be Kate Mulgrew.
Oh.
Or Mulgrew.
Ooh. Okay. I got to think about this. Go on, Kat. Go ahead.
I will say I'm going 69.
Hold on. Oh no. Oh, I'm gonna go 60, turning 68.
69. Yeah,
Oh,
that's right.
really?
She was born in 55.
Oh,
that'd be 69.
It had to be. I knew you're either right or very close. So
My brain is not processing math today.
only because,
apparently.
Wendy has said before, when I'm watching shows,
Right.
I IMDb the actors
Sure.
and like research, and then their ages are like implanted in my head.
Yeah.
And I have been watching Voyager, loving it. Some of it's really silly, some of it's really great. Janeway is freaking badass. Can't wait for my license plate to get here. Hopefully it's approved.
Hopefully.
When will you know if it's approved? When it shows up?
Well, the California DMV says it could be between 6 weeks and 8 months.
Oh,
And according to Reddit, more like 8 months.
that's a really big window.
And someday it'll just show up, or I'll just not get it, or like get another kind of notice. I don't know. I don't know if it takes the whole 8 months just to decide.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean? So we'll
Interesting.
see.
All right. Well, keep us posted.
It'll be a big day if I get some plates in the mail.
Good luck to you.
Yes. Godspeed.
Speaking of badass, this woman is a badass, has played a badass. That is, and born on April 30th, that is Gal Gadot.
Oh, Gal. I think I saw her this
Gal
weekend.
Gadot. You what?
I think I saw her this weekend.
Where?
In person?
Yeah.
How do you, okay.
How do you
How many
not know
beautifully
for sure?
radiant women do you, like, freaking traffic stopping?
I know. That's why, I mean, I didn't go up to her and ask her if, hey, are you Gal? But outside of that, I'm pretty sure it was her.
Where were you? Can you tell us?
Well, I was at a 1-year-old's birthday.
Okay.
And they had a very fancy like country club up in Montecito.
Well,
And so, and it's like you could rent these cottages that are all around the grounds, and like there's garden. It's this really beautiful place. We did not belong there at all. We should not have been there. But like, here comes this woman walking from point A to point B, and my wife Leah, who I'm married to, she was like, "That looks like Gal Gadot," and I'm like, "Well, it really does." And then she walked back the other way. I'm like, "Oh, that's her." She's tall, statuesque, kind of had like this swagger. I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, that's her."
I mean, she has a face that is
Where were you?
hard to miss.
Where were you?
What's the name of? You can say redacted on air,
right?
then,
Well, I'll redact it. It's called.
Are you googling it to see if
Yeah. I mean, I don't see anything about it.
About her being there.
she could have been there for
it could have been, yeah.
matter.
That's not everything she does is.
But very private.
I feel like she's not someone you can mistake.
I mean, again, without having verbal confirmation, pretty sure it was her.
Well, I thought I saw Brie Larson at something, and it was a little guy with long hair. So you never know.
Maybe she was there for her birthday. If it's her birthday week,
that's true. That's true.
Interesting.
Well, how old is Gal?
I think she's so. I think she's turning 39.
I was gonna say 35, so that means I should say 38.
Ugh.
You should have said 39 because
Nice.
I figured Tara would know. I know Tara.
Of course I know because I've Googled her or IMDb'd her because I'm like, and I'm like, whoa, I'm the same age almost as Gal Gadot. Okay, she still looks great. So then I compare only from now on. We'll compare my.
No one should compare
how I
themselves
look
to Gal Gadot.
Well, no, I'm not comparing. I'm saying like, I look great because I'm the same age as.
Right.
Oh.
Yes.
And
you should.
Yeah.
You should say that.
I'm doing it in my favor.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Going with it. You know.
It's good.
Have you seen it? Have you seen Fast X, the last Fast and the Furious?
No.
Well, I've never seen any of the other ones, but I saw that one because I directed a part of it.
Of course.
Or at least the news section. But anyway, spoiler alert: if you haven't seen Fast X, at the end, Charlize Theron and Michelle Rodriguez escape from this thing, and they're like walking in these snowy mountains in this Arctic random place, and lo and behold, a submarine pulls up in this random thing of water, and it comes up, and then Gal Gadot pops out of the thing in the on the submarine, like with this big smile, like, "I'm here to rescue you," and I'm like, "That's the movie I want to see." Get those together, go into the sub, go on adventures. That I will watch.
Maybe
what
that's
happens
what they're setting up.
Yeah, what happens in the sub stays in the sub.
It's a sexy sub, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Well, now I just want to see the end of that movie.
Well, you probably just find the end somewhere. But it's just funny, like Gal Gadot pops out of a sub to rescue Charlize Theron and Michelle Rodriguez, and that was my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah,
I would,
it was definitely like, oh, there's a movie I never really thought about thinking I needed, but yes, I do.
And I think Gal's character is supposed to be dead, so this was like, so
she's been in this. Her character is established for this cutscene. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I think she was in that before she was Wonder Woman, right? Or maybe not. She was in something before, obviously, but anyway. So we have another special birthday on May 2nd. Our friend Jackie.
Ooh.
Her birthday. I don't know how old she is, so we can't guess.
We're not going to guess.
Happy
not gonna
birthday.
Happy
I think
birthday.
it was Buster's birthday too recently. I feel like.
Oh, okay.
I feel like I saw a party hat or something going on. Maybe not. Maybe I just have it in my head all the time.
Yeah.
But Jackie and Jackie and Buster.
Thinking about Buster.
Oh,
happy birthday, Jackie.
Happy birthday, Jackie, and maybe Buster.
What are you guys doing to celebrate? I hope it's fun.
Yeah.
Buster, you better get you something good.
Maybe Buster will bring you a stick.
Oh,
a special stick that he finds in the yard.
Or maybe he'll walk through the mud and give you like a paw print.
Oh.
That'd be nice.
Any gift from an animal is special.
They are a gift themselves.
That's true.
Jackie, you're the best. We love you. Have a great birthday.
This week I got to scoop a stray chicken bone out of Charlie's mouth. That was fun.
Oh,
Out on the walk when
Yeah.
they start to sniff a little too long.
Been there.
And then you're like, oh dear God, no. You're in there and you're scooping. You're pulling and scooping. And I got it. So rewarding.
Nice job. You have to get it.
You have to get
it.
Have to. Like
you're just like elbow deep into this dog's fucking mouth.
Yeah. So that was exciting.
Well,
sounds like it.
I've done that with our Maxie, R.I.P. And also he would eat anything, and so including cat poop, which could get him very sick. So I had to fish some of that out of his mouth too.
Oh God,
isn't that awesome?
Good times.
Listen, dogs are great.
Yeah, animals are the best.
They're so great.
Yeah.
But they do things that aren't great.
Yeah, they do really dumb things.
Yeah. But that was just a little snippet of what I did this weekend.
Oh.
But should we discuss the rest of this week in snopping?
I love it.
Well, I did things this weekend. I actually did things. I went to not one, but two Anaheim Angels baseball games.
Ooh.
Why, you ask? Because it was Star Wars weekend, and my friend Marilyn invited me. Marilyn has season tickets, so
cool.
with 2 seats. So she had written me and said, it's Star Wars weekend on the 26th and 27th. Would you want to go? I'm like, yeah, just let me know which one. I could do either. She's like, well, I was thinking both. So I said, okay, I'll do that.
That's nice.
So, which is fun. But then Sunday, I realized, that was 2 10-hour days of making a baseball game happen. Because, you leave. She gets there early, like before the gates open. So I got to her place. Well, the first day I got there in Anaheim, like at 3:15. She was just south of the ballpark. And the next day I got there around 4. But I mean, it was an hour and a half at least drive both days down there. And the traffic is stupid. And you're just, you know how to. So, and then we get to the ballpark early. And then, but Marilyn, so she gets a wheelchair to go up to her seats, which are on the very top section behind the plate. Good seats. But it's a lot of walking, if you do the ramps or if the escalator's broken, and then you can do the elevator. So Marilyn knows everybody. She's been going for years. And so we pull up. She's like, you ready to go in? I'm like, yeah, let's, go. And she goes to this special handicap entrance or whatever. So she calls her friend, hey, Jim. It's like, hey, Marilyn, are you here? Yeah, I'm ready. All right, we'll meet you at the gate. Aww. Go through, they check our stuff. She walks up and they get through the gate, and there he is with her wheelchair. How you doing, Marilyn? Wow. She's hugging all the people taking tickets. They all know Marilyn.
That's good service.
And then we go up the special elevator, and he wheels her right to our seats, and then all right, see you after the game. And then we went and got our food. She's hugging like the people sitting out near that section who are like for information or whatever. They're all chatting, and there's this lady who is adorable. Her name's Jeannie. She had white hair, she's an older lady, ponytail. They wear these little, like, I don't know what to call them, hats, little flat little hats. No, like a straw hat, like Dick Van Dyke and Mary Poppins or something. I don't know what they're called, but it was cute. They all wore it, all the ushers. And she was like, they're all friendly. And and then at the end, he's down there with the chair and wheels her right out to the car. And
wow,
that's incredible.
It's service, But then she gets up, she goes, gets her food and everything.
When they play the Rangers.
Well, here's the thing. Like, they lost both times, which normally I would be upset. I was kind of hoping they win, but I mean, they're in our division. So I'm like, whatever. Fine. I want the Rangers to win. But it was Star Wars weekend, and it was really cool. They had characters walking around.
Oh,
different, like from Dooku to Stormtroopers. Chopper was there. R2.
The droids were rolling around.
Yeah, they had R2, Chopper, and then I think the little guy from Star Tours, maybe I think was the little droid.
Oh,
really?
So they're running around. The ball, like the girls that run around and like shoot T-shirts into the stands or like find a special guest to give prizes to. They all had Leia hair with the Leia bones. And for some reason, it made them just look that much more fun. Like, I'm sure they're fun anyway, but when they all have the same Leia hair, they look like women from the 40s. It's all like, hey. For the players, they would put for the visiting team, it would just have their name and some whatever else information and a bad droid, like a droid that may not have been on the side of the Empire, or a stormtrooper variation. For the Angels, they'd have the players' pictures photoshopped into a character. Like Mike Trout was Luke Skywalker. He had 3 different Luke Skywalker pictures with him. couple of the guys were Han. One was Lando. One was Finn. So they would put their pictures up as a Star Wars character. It's really cute. The first night there was a Star Wars drone show, and the first night it was like a good
so
crowd,
cool.
but
that's awesome.
Not crazy. But the drone show was. We saw that one, right? Yeah. When at Pride Night we saw that.
Yeah.
Yes, at LA Dodgers was amazing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Cool.
Amazing.
This picture you sent us, it looked like a Star Destroyer was floating above the stadium.
It does. It looks
cool.
like they're probably the most weird, creepy, like floating one. It was like a 3D Darth head, and it was just kind of
god.
It was really cool. We had a great view. The second night. So the first time, Friday we went, and there was like the parking lot was pretty empty. We just pulled right up. We got in quickly. Second night, they were giving away Mandalorian rally monkeys. So the Angels have their rally monkey. And I didn't know they do this every year. They have like a Han Solo one, a Rebel pilot. They have them through the years. This was Mandalorian. People lined up early to get that monkey. So, we got there. There was already huge lines to get the entrances. The handicap line was like at least 30 people deep. And it took us a little while to get in, and then we went to get our food, went to the thing. I mean, it was
Did
sold
you get
out.
one?
It was packed. Yeah.
Oh,
wait, where is it? Let's see.
Okay,
I want to see the rally monkey.
How are you not going to show us the monkey?
Those drone shows are amazing. I think they should just do those drone shows for pretty much any event.
I agree.
Never fail to impress. No, we don't need it. It's just like too smoky. The
too
drones.
Smoky. It's not good for veterans or dogs.
Nope.
Let's just move on. Ooh.
I haven't taken him out of his wrapping yet.
Take him out. Are you going to leave him in there?
Let's maybe hold on. If it was so popular. Well,
no, here's the thing. Look, here's the thing.
Resale value. I don't know.
No,
we're like two little demons on Wendy's shoulder.
I looked on eBay.
Open it.
Like after we'd been sitting in our seats for like 10 minutes, there are already like 10 of them on eBay.
So how much?
40 something, but they're not selling because everybody they got there and they're like taking a picture in the stands and putting it on eBay. So I'm like, whatever. Boop, look at him.
Whoa!
Oh, he's so cute.
Boop.
Got a little cape.
I
I feel bad I kept you that plastic so long. I'm sorry. Yeah.
He's so cute.
So anyway,
that's pretty. I mean, that's a brilliant
rally
promotional item. Very smart, Angels.
Like a collectible item there.
Yeah, it's really cute.
So cute.
But anyway, so the people showed out for that. They were there. And afterwards, there was a fireworks show, which the night before, I was like, if they just did drones and no fireworks, that'd be okay. But no, I love fireworks. I still love them. It was really cool. But the thing is, I was tired, because it's 2 days of driving to Anaheim, going to these long baseball games. So, of course, the Angels lost 16-5. I'd never seen this.
16-5?
Wow. Yeah. In the top of the ninth,
who'd they play? Who are they playing?
Minnesota Twins.
Damn.
They put their shortstop into pitch, which is apparently a thing sometimes teams do when they're losing by a lot. They don't want to
waste the arm
of a pitcher. So I feel like the guy was throwing. He was.
That's weird.
I forgot to look at how fast, but a guy we saw on the way down said it was like 58 miles an hour. But he did no worse than any of the other pitchers.
Were they just hitting them all over the place?
I feel like one guy, I think, got a home run. They got a couple pop-outs. I feel like there has to be a rule, like an unspoken rule, an unwritten baseball rule. Like if it's to the point where the other team puts in some random shortstop.
You're short, okay.
Swing at it, but
just
definitely don't be like, you could probably take 4 pitches and walk almost every time because he's not a pitcher. So they just swing. They're probably like, they don't. What does it do for them to raise the score?
Well,
10 more runs.
Hurts their batting averages for the players.
True.
But either way, I think they got a couple runs, but they had gotten runs every inning. He did no worse than their real pitchers.
How bad were they doing when they put him in?
It was 14-5 when they put him in the top of the ninth. And then they had 2 more and it got 16.
They didn't want to put their closer in to come and get a save.
What about the guy who was just in? He couldn't just go for like 3 more outs just to make sure, whatever. Anyway.
Right. Would that really have hurt his arm that much? Big wimps. These pitchers.
So anyway, the game was long
bad.
Because of that. But I noticed now that they give him a time limit for each pitch. Like once you pitch it, then it's like 15 seconds. You can throw the next pitch. That helps. but it was still longer with all the scoring. And then the fireworks was delayed by like 20 minutes.
Oh.
So for some reason, they said it was a safety zone issue. I'm like, well, get whoever it is the hell out. What is it a safety zone issue? Clear out.
Wow.
So that finally started. And then we were leaving the parking lot, which and of course, because it was a lopsided game, a lot of the crowd was gone, but it was still like they shut down one of the exits. So that took forever. I'm like, I'm never going to get home. So I didn't get home till after midnight.
That's a long day for you.
It was 2 long days,
yeah.
But it was fun. I had a great time. I'd never been to their ballpark, and a great night to go. All the Star Wars stuff. They had fun videos playing of Star Wars stuff the whole time. You'd hope Anaheim Angels right there by Disneyland. They're going to do some legit Star Wars stuff.
Yeah,
they had T-shirts and stickers and pin. I bought a sticker, and then that was it.
Nice. That's pretty cool. I still have my really cool from the Rangers Star Wars night, the Darth Vader cup.
Yep,
had a lot of cool merch.
That's cool.
Yeah, Star Wars night's cool when teams do that. I love it. It was a fun outing. 2 outings of
good for you
baseball, and I went with a VIP.
Yeah, no kidding.
Marilyn, man, she knows everybody.
Marilyn's like a Xena VIP too.
She's
just like
she's a celebrity wherever she goes.
Legend Xena.
A couple of other ticket holders come by and come up to where she was sitting, say hi to her.
Amazing,
Marilyn. Yeah,
yeah.
So,
well, for me this week, this is Tara. Couple things. Really happy. If you're not aware. This it is actually technically November 1st to the 3rd. I will be moderating at FanFusion UK 2. They just announced a guest recently last week, Tori Anderson from NCIS Hawaii.
Oh,
so that was some exciting news. That came out on April 20th. Okay.
Awesome. That's very exciting.
Yes, and during the Lesbian Week of Visibility was last week, too.
Perfect.
Yay!
That's
okay,
so great.
So if you're interested in coming, you're fan of Tori. She's a guest now, 1st through 3rd November.
That's amazing.
However, then on the 26th, I was very saddened to hear that CBS...
Oh, boy.
Also during the week of lesbian visibility, canceled NCIS Hawaii very abruptly. And this show being the first of the NCIS family of shows to be female-led and also feature, a lot of queer representation.
I had no idea.
And yes. So cool. A lot of... much relatable drama around this, right? Because again, apparently it says, I'm going to read you the article from Deadline first here. We got a couple. It says NCIS Hawaii cast members and co-creators are still digesting the news that the series will not return for a 4th season following its cancellation Friday afternoon. Yes, Vanessa Lachey made history as a first female lead, who is also a woman of color. And so she was shared her first reaction on Instagram, which was gutted, confused, blindsided, and also grateful, confident, and beloved fans. So hearing that the cast and crew were seemingly found this information out from the media, weren't told ahead of time, and so very it's like finding out you've been fired from all of your coworkers or in the industry, or having it posted on Facebook before they've told you.
It's literally
it's
like
insane. Yeah, it's literally what it is. Yeah. I don't understand. And I was talking, we were talking a little bit about the pod, and we have to stop ourselves and say save it for the pod. But
sure.
How is this not put into the SAG contract? As far as okay, you got to tell us what do you say, maybe a few hours before you release it to the media. How can they have all these job protections in this contract, but part of those job protections aren't being told that you still have a job before the world finds out? I don't.
They could call it the humiliation clause.
You have to be willing to be humiliated.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's pretty shitty. That's one of the weirdest parts of the I can speak to the television side of the business, is that yeah, networks don't feel like they are obliged to do that. They don't feel like that's an obligation. It's a common courtesy that they just don't extend to a lot of their shows, which is really insulting and awful.
Yep.
Having been through it, finding out on deadline that I no longer have a job doesn't feel good.
No, it's terrible. No. And so Tori, who will be at the convention, also posted. Tori plays Agent Kate Whistler. And she posted, having a really hard time processing this one. Thank you to our incredible crew who made every single day feel like I was living a dream. I want to say thank you to all the fans. My heart breaks for you as well. This is a huge loss for representation. Love you all so much. And that one's from TV Line. You know, it's all over people at people.com, and says NCIS Hawaii made franchise history as the first NCIS series to launch with an LGBTQ plus agent. Lucy Tara, played by Yasmin Al-Bustami, and Lucy and Kate formed the ship that quickly was dubbed Casey, and got meaningful screen time, especially during season 2. So, you know, a lot of, it says Anderson followed up her initial reaction with a longer post on Saturday that says, goodbyes are never easy, and this one definitely hurts. What a privilege to be to work alongside this incredible cast and crew for 3 seasons. The show changed my life. Hawaii changed my life. I wish it wasn't ending, but I'm grateful for every single moment. We had quite the beautiful ride. And goes on to thank a lot of some of the other crew and such. So just how devastating.
That's
you know,
bummer.
and during, I mean,
I know
during Lesbian Visibility Week,
they couldn't wait a week.
And that's just not.
They just
tell them
they're not paying attention to this stuff.
It is
it's CBS, right?
Insane. It just seems insane
CBS
to
likes
me
to do that. CBS.
That
I mean,
I'm just shocked with the NCIS franchise, and we were talking about this a little bit too earlier. That this is like one of those franchises that you'd think they would at least give them some common courtesies that maybe they don't extend to some of the other rando shows they just kind of throw out there, you know?
I mean,
because they probably share some of the, I don't know, writers. You know, it's like
you would
they
think.
just last month they had a big special about 1,000 NCIS episodes, and that's for all the iterations of NCIS. And the 1,000th hit, it was a new episode of the original NCIS. But they had, you know, they talked to the cast of all the shows. They talked about, you know, all this. So it's like, oh, we're all one big NCIS family. It's like, yeah, not you. You're out. You know,
not even gonna
probably. Yeah, the people doing that special may have nothing to do with that, you know, the cancellation or the telling of the people. But it was this big deal about, look at all the NCIS we've been doing. 1,000 episodes of NCIS. And we're going to cancel you.
And you're no longer part of the family, but we
are
are not going to tell you. We're going to let Deadline tell you.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for doing the special.
That sucks.
It does suck.
So that was just disappointing.
Yeah.
Part of the weekend snopping.
Yeah.
But still excited to see Tori in November. I mean, I'm sure, you know.
You can ask her all about it.
No, that's
how big of a gut punch was it?
Yeah,
exactly.
On a scale. No.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Where does this rank? Ugh, that sucks. It's part of the, I mean, I'm sure it's like it's part of the business, but still, it's disheartening enough when your show's canceled, much less when you hear about it, you know.
Yeah.
With everybody else.
Yeah.
Ugh.
After you've probably been treated like, you know, star of a hit show.
Yeah,
like, hey, we love you.
We love you.
You hear stories about, like, you know, actors on a show, and then the show gets canceled. They're not even allowed on the lot. Like, no, you don't work here anymore.
I hope someone, some like a friend of the cat, like every cast member or crew member, like let them know right away when they saw the article. So like they weren't,
I'm sure,
out, out that someone they didn't know, like on the street, told them,
Yeah.
Sure.
Like,
What?
someone like a friend or
Hey.
family member saw, like, oh my God, like, and wrote them immediately instead of them like, I'm
I'm
gonna
sure it
take like a
spread like
social
wildfire.
media break this week.
Yeah, exactly.
And like,
Hey,
enjoy
sorry about
nature.
sorry about your show.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
oh God.
What do you mean?
No.
Kat, if you cancel Snop, will you let us know?
I'll give
Please.
you guys at least a 30-minute heads up.
Thank you. I don't want to find out I just show up and then no one else is here.
You're just waiting in the Zoom meeting. Nobody shows up.
I thought we were going to record.
No.
Hmm.
Never do that.
Well,
When
not
do
to
you
do a
want
hard right turn, but I started watching a new show.
Okay.
I don't think it's like queer or anything, but I don't know. I've only watched 4 episodes.
Okay.
I just want to put it out there. Is anyone watching or have you watched the show Dark on Netflix? Because I just found it.
I heard it's spooky and good.
It's spooky and good. And like I said, only 4 episodes in. From everything I understand, there's a whole lot more stuff that's going to go down. I mentioned to my roommate, she's like, oh my God, it's so good. Yeah, it was mentioned in like a Reddit or something, like, here are shows, if you like this, you might like this. And several people, and amongst other shows that I really like, mentioned this several times. So I'm like, I should try it. And it's German. I've also heard, watch the subtitles. Don't try to watch the dub. Which when I started it, it was automatically on dubbing. And I was like, wait, are they talking? Wait, are the mouths messed up? What? So I looked it up and they're like, no. Subtitles. And it's much better.
Cool.
But you gotta read. But
So
Sure.
is there more than one season, or is this like a still
I think
happening
there's 3.
show? Okay.
I don't know. And here's the thing. I don't want to look anything up. I think it's over. I think it was 3 seasons.
Okay.
But I'm scared if I look into that, I might get spoiled.
Right.
Yeah, three seasons.
3 seasons. So here's another cool thing, though, that I just discovered today, because I did find a little podcast where they went after the fact and like started watching the episodes to talk about it. They're like, we know everybody else has seen it, so we know we're just have theories that you're probably laughing at right now.
Sure.
But someone did mention there's a website that's pretty cool, dark.netflix.io/en. And what you can do, you type, it'll ask you what season you're on and what episode you're on. And then it comes up with like this little family tree thing of the characters and who they are in various times of their lives and their relations with each other. But it won't tell you anything more than what you've seen up to that point.
Cool.
So like you can tell it how far you are and not get spoiled by anything else coming. So yeah, I don't want to know. I've already, I Googled one thing. I'm like, oh, should I have seen that picture?
Yeah.
So
Stop Googling.
but anyway, well, I didn't know. I didn't know. So yeah. So I just now started diving into Dark. So if you've seen it, don't spoil it. But
it does.
I'm curious to hear your thoughts. It's
just
very
the poster is creepy.
mysterious. It's very it's well done. Very well done.
Okay.
So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
If it's a high recommendation, or just like, so far it's intriguing after 4 episodes.
Awesome.
So
All right.
that's all I
right.
got about
That's
that.
it. All right.
Keep us posted.
Oh well.
Speaking of keeping people posted, we are in fact starting a book club. Our first book is going to be Cleat Cute. Nailed it.
Yeah.
And if you want to join along in our book club, you should be prepared to discuss the first 10 chapters by the episode of this podcast that drops on May 14th. This is your warning. We're going to talk about the book. We're going to get into it. So first 10 chapters, dive in, join us.
Yes.
And Tara, we're going to maybe have some topic discussions?
Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to discuss the first 10 chapters, like you said, on the episode that drops on the 14th. So if you would like to participate in any of these discussion questions, you would need to email us by the 10th, maybe the 11th if you're looking at very early morning Pacific Standard Time, American time. But to be safe, by the 10th. If you again, even if you don't get through all 10 and you still have thoughts, go for it.
Sure.
We aren't here to grade you. We're not going to judge if you don't get through all of them.
Definitely not.
No. So this again does not come from a place of me being an expert book club runner, because I guarantee I'm not. But Google tells me there are things that we can talk about for discussion. So some of the things, just to get some prompts for us to think about. But you can write us about any other thoughts you have. But what was your favorite part of the book so far, and why, within those first chapters? Okay. Because it can change, start. Right? In the next 10. Yeah, who knows what happens in the next. Who's your favorite character and why so far? Okay. Any memorable moments, quotes, events, passages?
Love that
stood out to you? Okay. Thank you.
Good.
How do you like the main couple or any other couple going on, their chemistry so far? Yeah, even if they're not coupled up yet. The main, you know what I mean, protagonist, antagonist, whatever you call them. It's fancy book words. I guess not just for books, but,
fancy book words.
The chemistry between the characters. How are you liking it?
Yeah, you buying it? You feeling it?
Right.
Yeah.
And so we're just sticking with those 4 core questions for this first time.
Yeah.
But if you have any other thoughts or ideas for questions that you'd like to then ask us or for others reading to comment on, fire away. So you can email us those at shenerdsOut@gmail.com.
True.
Yes. You
can also send us a voice message. You can send us your thoughts via voice message at our website, shenerdsOut.com.
So you can order the book various ways. You can buy a copy, right? Or the audiobook. Or the book on tape, as Wendy calls it, and I really enjoy. So Wendy started the book on tape. So she is ahead because she had her long drives to Anaheim.
Like chapter 17.
Ooh, okay. Well, don't spoil it for us. Now remember, even if you've read ahead like Wendy, you have to focus on these first 10 chapters because otherwise we'd be talking about things that nobody else knows about.
And don't do that. So
even if you've read the book already, you could still join in. Just like do a little refresher to make sure you're not jumping the gun ahead of chapter 10.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I bet you can also get the book through your local public library. So less expensive options. I know they have that Libby app for your phone where you can access, like, if you have a library card, you can access like online digital books. So so you don't have to know, drop the cash if you don't have it right now. Go to your local library.
Now internationally, I'm not sure what all's going on there, but I think it's definitely available internationally to some degree. But
sure.
they have libraries there in like UK and outside America.
I mean, probably. I don't know.
So. I think so.
I mean, they have books, right?
I think so. Yes.
They probably have books.
All right.
Okay, great.
That's a plan.
This is gonna be fun. We're gonna have fun. This is gonna be good.
Hey, I know what. Let's call the segment "Reading Rainbow." Has that been taken?
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant.
I love it.
A T-shirt.
I love it.
Amazing, Wendy.
As far as no one else has used it.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's totally open.
It's all new. Did I just come up with that?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
God, you're so smart.
Maybe I could get a theme song together.
Copyright that.
Oh,
theme
great.
song together for that one.
Just throw around some ideas real quick.
Like this butterfly in the sky.
Oh yeah, it's a jam.
I can think twice. How's it go?
I can fly twice as high.
Maybe take a look. It's in a book. I mean, that rhymes, right?
A nook and a crook.
Good job, Tara.
It's like a reading rainbow. Wow.
A reading rainbow?
Oh, yes. Wendy, it flows right out the tongue.
Well, that's why I came up with it.
If we can read this, I can do like anything.
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like that's how I feel after I read a book. I'm going to put that in the song. I'm going to put that right in the song.
Just take a look. Read a book.
It's in a book.
Wow, it like writes itself.
Yes.
I don't even know the words. That was after my time.
Oh,
but
yeah.
But I think we should make some play on that for sure.
Can you write like a
Much love to
like an homage
LeVar.
version?
Yes.
Yeah.
An
Much
homage
love.
to the.
Much love to LeVar.
Yes,
I mean, we're
Yeah.
still waiting for the mail sack. Remember
We can write it on the plane.
because we have the
Yeah,
tune,
we'll
right?
write it up. We do our best work when we're like weird places and
Duck somewhere.
on the in traffic or like
We're gonna write
like
our movie
at a party
and we can write the song.
at a party somewhere.
Traffic's
So.
good.
What is it? Because we have the inspirations that mail the postman or whatever, right?
Postman Pat.
Postman Pat. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So do that one first, and then do the Reading Rainbow one.
Okay.
Speaking of the old mail sack, we're jumping into it. Here we are. Welcome.
Oh, we haven't even got to the mail sack yet. What?
I know.
All right. Well,
We have now.
oh, well, then I'll start us off.
Okay.
Once I find my place, and I will.
Okay.
The first email is from Jennifer, and it says, "Go catch a bubble," is the subject.
Okay.
Dear three musket queers.
I love that. I
Oh.
love that for us. Musket queers.
That's good.
The three musket queers. Okay, I'm still figuring out how I really
musket
want to say that,
queers.
but it works, especially in written form.
Oh, this is a little dated. How are you deviants doing this fine evening of 420? Hopefully not smoking weed. If you are partaking, I am disappointed. If you're going to smoke, at least do it on a day that's not 420, the day you're expected to smoke weed. To be truly deviant, smoke when it's not almost celebrated. Put it down, drink some water, and smoke tomorrow.
Good advice.
Remind me to tell you all later about the time my mom went through my purse to find some cough drops.
Uh-oh.
Spoiler alert, she did not find cough drops in that bag of Halls. Anyway, my son, the diva, has been telling us to go catch some bubbles lately. It's very cute, but he says it when he's mad, and he says it in the vein of "go fuck yourself." With his big doe eyes, as he says, "Go catch a bubble."
Whoa.
Makes me want to excitedly say, "Okay." He's got sass
catch
that one.
a bubble.
Go catch a bubble.
That's a new.
gonna
I'm
use
gonna
that.
start using that.
Yeah.
Go catch a
Yeah.
bubble.
That's a good t-shirt.
This past Tuesday, I went to a school for donuts with grown-ups. I went into his class and his face lit up and he yelled, "Mommy!"
Aw.
And he ran to me and jumped in my arms. He introduced me to some of his friends. He got a little shy as he pointed to the little girl he got married to a couple of weeks ago and told me who that was. I saw her mom and introduced myself and said I was Daniel's mom. Her face lit up and said that her daughter talks about Daniel all the time. And it also seems her older daughter was in Daniel's class last year, and they also got married. So I guess I have a problem on my hands here. One more marriage, and it becomes a pattern. Daniel's got to look inward to see why he's getting married so much.
For real.
Well, he's in demand. Daniel's incredibly friendly, and it's hard having such a friendly boy because that means I have to be more sociable too. Like, it's wild having social anxiety and being an introvert while being a mother because I occasionally have to think about doing things with my son that revolves around being outside with people. I mean, I enjoy being outside, but I don't want to talk to every single person. But for him, I'll talk to anyone, even the fake girl he talks to on the phone. All for one and one for all. Jennifer. And there's a bubble palooza of bubble pictures where he's looking all that little quarter zip he's
so
wearing,
cute.
looking all stylish.
Lots of different looks.
I can tell. I feel like I can tell he's getting older since we
Yeah.
started visiting the
Yeah.
bubble.
It's getting bigger, getting
Got
taller.
some big old glasses. Oh, look at his little penguin shirt.
It's so cute.
I can appreciate moms that then have to socialize with other moms. And just because you're also a mom does not mean you're going to get along. But if your kids get along, then you're virtually stuck together.
Yeah,
And
you
that-
can't.
Right.
You got no choice.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, we can go to the zoo, but I got to be with that mom, you know.
Yeah. That
So
would be a bummer.
that's good for you because that's tough. So
You're a
power
good
to the moms or any parent
yes.
that is enduring other parents for their children. So, all right. Oh, it's me. It's me.
It's you.
All right.
I got one
Okay.
from Suze. Yay, Suze.
Woohoo.
Hey guys. Oh wait, Suze. There's a subject here.
Oh.
I don't want there to be too much
Okay.
suspense. Sapphic romance is the subject.
Mm.
Okay, it says,
Mm,
I'm
me too.
so excited for Cleat Cute, the series. I'm a big fan of sapphic romance novels, and I'm hoping this is the start of many adaptations. I got into listening to them on Audible, while walking Shelby for hours at a time. Unfortunately, and I cannot stress this enough, please don't listen to the audible of Fleet Cute.
Wendy.
Yeah.
The narration is terrible.
Whoa, breaking
There's
news.
a character who is English, and the two narrators struggle a bit with that accent, which isn't great. Well, they need me doing the narration, obviously. But then they introduced a character who's apparently Welsh. And oh my God, I honestly don't think either narrator has ever heard a Welsh accent in their lives.
Oh, no.
Not only are they terrible, but they keep changing it. At one point, the character sounds kind of English, then sort of Irish, and even a bit Scottish.
Oh, no.
But never anywhere near Welsh. Facepalm emoji. It really took me out of it. So yeah, probably buy the actual book and read it for yourself.
Oh man, I gotta read.
Well, in my mind's yes,
I was gonna say, yeah, because I remember that character. Like,
no,
I got sunburn out the top of my head or whatever.
No, okay.
And I thought, oh yeah, they're Scottish. Oh no, wait, they're Welsh. Oh wait, I was kind of confused.
So this is like a character. They're okay, all right. So the main two are the main two are American.
There's an English. I think it was like the national coach or something, and then the Welsh person is one of the players.
Okay.
On their New Orleans team.
Okay. Got it.
Interesting. All right. Good to know.
All right. Suze continues. In my mind's eye, I kind of pictured the characters as Casey and Izzy from Atypical. So I'd absolutely love if they got Bridget Lundy Payne and Fievel Stewart for the series.
Fievel?
I will have to look them up. I can't. I don't know.
I didn't watch that.
I didn't watch
a little mouse. There's a little mouse.
I don't think.
Hey, anytime I hear the name Fievel, I'm going to
somewhere.
Yes.
There.
So good.
If
If reading Fleet Cute sparks an interest in other sapphic romance novels, I'd highly recommend anything by either Haley Cass or Monica McCallan. They've both written some great books, and I realized last year via Twitter they're actually married.
Oh, that's fun.
Which I thought was super cute.
That is.
Anywho, as always, love you guys, Suze.
Love you, Suze.
Sent from my iPhone.
Thank you for including that.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm disappointed because I was going to listen to it.
Do what you want.
But it sounds like it's distracting.
Well, look, I don't listen to that many books on tape, so I don't know.
But even
I have
Suze
nothing to
agrees.
compare it to.
Suze agrees.
Ooh. I mean, maybe you can listen to a sample. I think you can listen to sample on Audible usually.
Yeah,
you can do a little thing. So maybe give it a try first, see if it works for you. Maybe it works for some people, not others. But I would definitely think Suze, as being a British person, would be very highly distracted by the differences in these accents.
Well, the accent, but here's the thing.
The
accents aren't in it that much. I mean, it sounds like just Suze didn't care for the overall narration. The accented players so far don't take up a big chunk of the story. So far.
All right.
So yeah,
I don't know where
you were saying earlier, Wendy, that it is a little like it's hard when you're hearing other voices that you haven't established.
You're hearing someone else's interpretation of how these characters talk to each other, and then they have two different people reading it, so it varies. As opposed to every once in a while they'll read a line, and I'll think, I feel like in my head that character would say that differently, and I keep trying to picture, when you're reading, you can picture who you see playing that part.
Totally.
And I've got weird people pictured playing these parts to me
right now. Who do you picture?
So right now. I kept trying to so first I kept for Phoebe, because she's red haired and kind of talks about her hair being kind of all over the place, gotta braid it. I picture a young version of the No Demo Renault girl who does that show. Like if she was a young person,
the HGTV TV show host.
If she was 22, that's what I picture, because she's chatty and she's red haired, she's kind of all over. Jennifer something. I can't remember.
Okay. That's an obscure
Jennifer
one.
Todrick or something. But because it talks about red hair and she's high energy and she talks a lot. And so I kind of pictured that person, but at 22 years old. And then I just kind of kept picturing a weird version of Mia Hamm as the other one, just because it's soccer. And I kept trying to put other faces, Xena alt fanfic,
right.
but I just couldn't do it. And I think part of it, like, because I was hearing these other people read the voices instead of just
right. It wasn't just one voice.
The voices weren't in my head. I was hearing someone else interpret how they would say things and their
Right.
tone and their delivery.
That sucks. Okay, you've convinced me.
For me, it really is. Charlie has opinions too. She's barking.
Sure.
I don't know if you can hear. But I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and some are like I can't keep listening to because of the. It's like I'm sure it's fine, but it has okay reviews. But it's just like for me, sometimes it just again, it's not your interpretation. And if there are some funny bits or supposed to be some flirtations or things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to have that your own comic timing or your
Totally.
own
Yes.
That's fair.
Almost projecting a way that you would do that versus having it told to you, and it always makes it a little more. I think cringy is a little too harsh, but it almost makes it for me like
it's kind of cheesy.
It feels a little cheesier than. Less relatable.
The intended, how the author intended it, probably.
And it's not like, you know, like say you're listening to a Harry Potter book on tape, something like that, where you already know you have the characters' voices. So even if they're reading it a little different, you kind of have maybe the voice that you've already established in your head. It doesn't, whereas opposed to like, I don't know who these characters, so these characters are kind of becoming who they are based on what I'm hearing, how these people are reading.
The voice. Yeah, the voice. Yeah,
so, well, we'll see. We'll see.
And I'm very interested. I think it might be all over the map. This is like off topic, but as far as audiobooks, whoever is chosen to read them versus the author, I don't know how much control the author has versus like the publishing company or whoever is producing this on who they hire. Now, I don't know if the narrators for this book are, you know, if they know the author or what. You know, but I was reading or listening to another great book if you're into cozy fantasy. It's not really queer, although there are queer characters in it. The House Witch is a very cozy fantasy, a fun one to listen to on audiobook. There's like quite a few books now. And in The House Witch, there is a cat character who is the familiar of the witch. Yes,
Wendy's attention.
Kraken is the name of the cat.
Cute.
And you read through the reviews, and it is like highly apparent that the voice that the narrator chooses for Kraken
oh no
is like offensive.
Oh no.
And I was worried. I was like, what? Oh my God, I don't know. Like, so I listened to the book, and Kraken's voice is not in it very much. But when it's in it, it's like, oh, whoa, takes you out of it. So what happened is this author, who goes by Delimhawk, is non-binary, and so they are very active in like responding to fans and talking with fans, and it's like I don't think it's self-published, but like it's a
like a smaller
smaller,
publisher,
but yeah. So what happened was when the third book came out, same narrator, the feedback from the first two. The author addressed it and said, I had no idea that was going to be how that character was voiced. I had but as soon as I heard it and it was able to, like, we switched it. Like,
that's so good.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I don't think it was like intentional, you know,
Sure.
Obviously.
Can you do
not
it?
even on the narrator's part. The narrator's like English, like British.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I can't speak for anyone, but it was problematic and also just like it was just not good. It was
Why was it problematic? Was it racist?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh God.
It
How'd
was
through?
hard. It was like hard to even.
Okay. Well, then I won't ask you to imitate it.
No, absolutely not. I mean, you read the reviews and it's like this book has amazing reviews, but it's like so people are leaving these great reviews, but it's like. But then you get to Kraken's voice, and oh my God, why? Like, this is so bad. Like,
wow,
it didn't even fit the character at all. Like, it was just so
weird choice.
Anyway, I'm way off topic now. But what I'm getting at is, I don't know how much control or
probably almost none.
I don't know because you never
know.
And I always wonder, like, do the authors listen back and they're like, oh man, that's not how I would have depicted that character at all. How often that happens.
Maybe on how big of an author you are. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You might not have as much power over that stuff if you're not like,
Yeah.
I would say even if you had the power and you had someone you liked reading it, they still might read a line that you're like, oh, no, that's not how that was meant to be.
Totally.
Yeah.
So go buy the book. Read it yourself.
All right.
Yes. Go make your own.
Report back.
Yeah.
Make your own voices. Okay. Hey, AK wrote us an email, and this is what it says. Subject is hail and well met. My lieges. What's this? What's this? A knight has sidled into our ranks without making any fanfare or declaration, just quietly pulling up a seat at the table. Welcome, Sir Kate. Whence hailst thou, and what weapon wield? 21st member of the... Ooh, okay.
What?
21st member of the Order of Snopalot.
Holy crap.
Squires included. Bravo indeed. Our ranks are filling up. This is very exciting.
If you're not familiar, are the folks that have listened to all. What is it? What are we even up to?
Over 230. Over 230.
Yeah, 238, I believe. This is I see in front of me now.
That is like official Snop episodes. It doesn't include the Winona bonus episodes or bonus mail sacks. So we're probably closer to 250 if we include all that stuff too.
Right.
It's insane.
That's a lot of time.
It's a lot of us.
Yeah, it's a lot of us. A lot of just investment and time. So kudos. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's amazing.
Kudos. Yeah,
thank you so much.
Yeah, you guys are all amazing. How did you guys not mention that the Cleopatra 2525 theme tune you hit us with at the end of last week was sung by the multi-talented and magnificent Gina Torres herself?
What? Because we didn't know.
We didn't know
that. How did you know that? AK,
I just looked it up. It's true.
Really?
Holy crap!
Not that I doubted, but yeah.
Wow, this show just it's like an onion. You just keep pulling back. There's all these layers. Wow.
Can we add Cleopatra 2525 episode 1 to the homework too?
Sure, because I've already watched episodes 1
Wendy
through
is
4.
so good at homework, man. She's ahead of the class. And myself, as usual, I'm late with my homework.
It was interesting.
We'll do thoughts. 1, maybe 2. We'll do at least 2.
For sure 1.
Okay.
Look, I had to watch up to 4 because then the third took place in this weird sci-fi strip club bar.
Of course
and then but the episode 4 had Daniel Cormack. So I was like, okay, well, I'll watch that one.
Oh, cool.
Xena, yeah.
So,
Effany.
Okay.
On my DVD, there were 4 episodes on the first page. So I was like, I'll just knock them all out. I want to see a little development.
So yeah, we're gonna and I found another website to watch that show on as well. So there's a couple of different free options, and they look legit.
Okay.
It looks like they're not gonna give you viruses. So yeah, AK, thanks for that little tidbit. They continue. So I guess I need to find this insanity on DVD. You guys lead me down all the maddest. You guys lead me down all the maddest rabbit holes. You're welcome. My xenification is on temporary hold, owing to scheduling difficulties, but it seems I shall have plenty to amuse myself with until we recommence. Book club. You guys. Thank you for that. You guys even get me paying attention to soccer. Damn you. Although thankfully only the ladies. Incidentally, the Red Roses, England's women's rugby team, are putting in a rather good showing in the Women's Six Nations this year. I'm more than a little impressed. As usual, our women's teams are showing the men's how it's done. No change there. Amen to that, AK. Mm-hmm. Trip into beautiful Oxford for me today to meet up with a uni mate who lives in London. There's no reason where Oxford isn't There's no season where Oxford isn't glorious, but a spring, she's divine. Lucky me. You kids be cool, Sir AK. Tara, have you made it to Oxford yet? I've never been to Oxford.
Yeah, that's where I met up with AK and Max.
Okay, I'm sorry. Don't get mad.
AK, are you hitting up the Jolly Farmer?
Oh, look at this little inside information.
Yeah. Pretty awesome. That's exciting.
That's awesome.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it all sounds good.
So AK is going to be in the book club. Nice.
I love it.
Welcome to the book club.
This is going to be a good book club.
And I get what you're saying, AK, about the women's versus men's soccer. Well, I can't speak for rugby, but I use an U.S. national men's team as the example of what not to do when describing anything done badly by anyone else. I say that's totally something the U.S. national men's team would do.
That's amazing.
By meaning trying to dribble the ball all the way past the goal line instead of just taking a shot.
I see.
Or like on the women's team when the players just like take some good shots from outside and just like bam, bam, one touch. Don't try to like take 5 touches each but then pass to a teammate who's also taking, but no one shoots. So when they do the opposite of that, I say, totally not a U.S. national men's team move. Well done.
Way to not be them.
Way to not be the U.S. national men's soccer team.
Heck yeah.
That's all.
That's all.
I got one more mail from Sandy. Subject: Cleo, you are not alone. Hello, dear friends. As I sat on my couch this Saturday enjoying old episodes of Dateline, as one does,
Sure.
I received a phone call from a loyal friend of the podcast. She asked if I'd heard the latest episode, Tubi, Meet Cleo. I responded that I had not. This mutual friend of ours, knowing that I have a bizarre tendency to have watched some very niche television shows, asks me if I had ever heard of a show called Cleopatra 2525. I said, of course. I own the DVDs.
Oh.
Once my hearing came back, I was able to make out, I knew it. You need to listen to the latest episode and send them an email. Wendy needs your help. So, Wendy, I'm here for you. You are not alone. I, too, own the DVDs. And to up the ante, I also own the DVDs for its companion show in the back-to-back action hour, Jack of All Trades, starring Bruce Campbell as Jack Styles, a.k.a. the Daring Dragon.
No, Dragoon.
Oh, sorry, Dragoon.
That's way cooler.
It's a different show.
Dragoon. Kat, seeing as we'll be in the same location in October, I'll make sure these DVDs somehow find their way into my suitcase. Oh. I'm sure we can find time one night for a, what is this? Pimsident?
It's a Pimsident. It's when you drink a Pims and maybe have 2 or 3 more and then things start to happen.
Oh.
I've only heard of a Pimsident.
Okay.
Things happened over the last Infusion UK. Maybe you'll, Tara, I'm sure you're in for some Pimsidents as well.
Yeah.
In November.
Looks like a featured viewing of episodes of Cleopatra 2525. Hell yeah.
Do you want to keep reading the email?
No, go on.
And a featured viewing of a few episodes of Cleopatra 2525. If we're feeling really feeling punchy, we can break out the Jack of All Trades DVDs. Nice. Don't forget, Vern Troyer was Napoleon in that series.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Wow.
As a side note, the theme song for that series was pretty catchy too. I have to look that up. Attached is photographic evidence of my ownership of the DVDs. Several of my dogs are included in the photos, so you can tell I didn't just rip photos of the box covers off Amazon or some shit. Besides, what kind of loser would lie about owning these specific DVDs?
Yeah, right.
Yours in Keeping Hope Alive in 2525, Sandy. Yes, as an aside to your talk about doppelgangers, ask Kat about hers.
Kat,
who's your doppelganger?
Yes.
To elaborate.
Oh, well, Sandy's my doppelganger.
Oh,
Really?
Sandy's your doppelganger.
We at one time had the same haircut, and so we're both tall.
I feel like maybe I saw a picture.
I think
I
you
did
too.
too.
Yeah.
So at several conventions now, ERPR conventions that we've both attended, people assume she's me. And people assume I am her, and it happens all the time. It's really funny. And listen, there's no one else I would rather be mistaken for. Sandy's awesome. She's an old school Z-Night, and we go way back. And we just happen to like run into each other at an ERP convention. I'm like, oh my god, it's you, it's me, it's you. So yeah,
That's awesome.
Sandy's awesome.
And Sandy, yes, we do see the dog evidence, so we can't be sure that those dogs are yours still. They could still be off Amazon.
I'll believe you.
I believe you. And what I like here, Sandy, from this picture is I don't think I noticed it when Wendy held up the DVDs so fast last week when we were looking at them. But I'm just looking at the little line, the little... Was it the fight for Earth has never been hotter?
That sums up the show,
that
right?
Would grab me. That would grab me if I saw that on the shelf. I'd be like,
fantastic.
yeah. Look at Vicky's abs.
I know. Well, I mean, Vicky's abs are kind of like notorious,
Iconic.
right? Like
Yeah.
iconic, like incredible abs.
Wow.
My goodness. I mean, Gabrielle's abs as well. Renee O'Connor had some
Vicky was into like
incredible abs as
bodybuilding
well.
stuff, right? Though,
Yeah, I think so.
like some serious weightlifting type of activities. So
Yeah.
she earned it.
Amazing.
Mm.
Well, yeah,
we'll definitely discuss when y'all catch up with me.
we will. So let's plan on watching at least one episode.
Okay.
Before our next episode.
Adding
recording.
that
Yes,
to
put in the
book
homework.
club. Okay.
And if people at home, again, just Google it, Cleopatra 2525, and there's a couple of different ways to watch it for free. So definitely do that.
Manage your expectations, people.
Please. I feel like we've given people enough of a heads up.
I'm not saying Cleopatra 2525 is a Emmy winner, but it's a damn fun show.
There's a lot of
let it,
fighting and diving and rolling and
yeah.
screaming and
A lot of cheesy effects.
shooting
And it sure
cheesy
would be
things.
fun with some
Mid-drifts.
jumping and
pims or
falling.
shots of
Yeah,
something.
a pimcident.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would
Yeah.
be good with that.
Yeah.
For show.
All right.
Okay.
Well, it's that time of year. Autostraddle has come out with their updated the 100 best lesbian, bisexual, and queer sci-fi and fantasy TV shows of all time. And I think Sue sent us this list, didn't she?
Last
To
year.
our
Yeah.
to our what's it called? Our WhatsApp group.
What's that?
Oh.
WhatsApp.
I have not.
So yeah, thank you, Suze, again, for helping us with more content. So as you'll remember, again, it's the top 100, and they have a very specific way of scoring these. And this is just for fun. We're just having a little fun here. This author has gone through a lot of trouble to put this list together. But we might be ranting, but before the end of it, there's like a very complex point system, and like, if you killed a gay character, you get -1 point. And if so there's this whole criteria that we're not really going to get into much more than that. Just know that they have their own way of scoring things, and some of these shows don't belong on this list. I'll just say that right now.
Well, there's
They're
100.
really grasping. Yeah.
I mean,
that
there were
100.
I
Yeah.
like to think about when I started, really watching anything but cartoons and formulating ideas about what I was watching on TV. And it's like there weren't 100 probably gay characters that had ever been on TV. And now you have the 100 top like sci-fi fantasy shows with this content. And it's like the fact that we can even just have a top 100 of these specific kind of shows.
Yeah, that's awesome. You're right.
Is crazy.
It's great.
When I couldn't have probably named 100 characters back when, where Xena came out,
This is true.
So that's that. But we still going to rip some of the list apart.
Oh, of course.
That's what we do. Do you want to start with number one instead of like slogging through the
Yeah,
ones we've never
yeah.
heard of at 100? I mean, because you can probably guess number
I see.
one. I
We're
feel like
going-
it was number one last year. Like,
going
we'll
to
go
the
through the
bottom.
list. But like, why bury the lead that everybody probably knows is going to be the winner?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's Buffy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was number one last time. I feel like it will be number one next time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it's just kind of solidified its spot.
Even with one of the most epic killings of
True.
lesbian death
Honestly.
with Tara being shot, it's still number one.
Yeah. No
No.
doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, that one still hurts.
It still
Hurts a lot
hurts.
of folks.
And it was groundbreaking. Their relationship was groundbreaking. So I'm sure it gets extra points for that. But yeah, you definitely lose at least 1 point for how they unceremoniously
Didn't hurt him
murdered
though.
Tara.
Still came out on top.
No,
Mm-hmm.
it's still here.
All right.
Number two, Orphan Black. I haven't watched that either. But
I'm not a big
I hear it's
shocker.
great.
I mean,
Yeah.
number two. I mean, I guess, yeah. I don't hate that. Again, I'm having to like go kind of backtrack and see.
Where other stuff is.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing with Orphan Black, but it's difficult because there are so many other characters.
Right.
But this is a main character because they're all. So, I mean, I get it. I hate it. I don't hate it.
It's funny, they on the list it says the name of the show, the ranking, name of the show, the years it aired, and it tells you who stars in it. Of course, the first three actors in this show are Tatiana Maslany, and Tatiana Maslany. That's very cute.
Mm-hmm. Well
See,
done.
they got a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Batwoman. Now,
I mean, it makes sense that it's in the top 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, and to be fair,
Tubi.
Thank you. It is one of the, to me, like, it features the main character for multiple seasons is queer with other queer characters, and it's like there's no side characters, no multiple,
There's been 2 leads on that show, and they were both queer. Queer actors. So yeah, that's huge. You can't. How many other shows can you say that about? No, that's great.
I love it. I think it makes perfect sense to me.
Mm-hmm. I think there are still shows I'd put, because if you're also talking in just overall either longevity or overall quality, I feel like there are shows that I would put above it on this list. But
and I think we had to do this last time. We had to think about, what is this list called? It is called the 100 Best Lesbian, Bisexual, and Queer Sci-Fi and Fantasy Shows of all time.
Right.
Not characters.
Right.
But shows
over
not ships, but just like shows overall.
Actual shows.
Yes.
Yeah.
So to me, Batwoman makes, out of these 3, makes the most sense to me. Out of Orphan Black and Buffy. I get why Buffy is number 1, but for all,
Yeah. You're right.
As far as domination of queer storylines,
it checks all the boxes.
Yeah.
No, you're totally right. You've convinced me. It belongs at number 3.
Yep.
It should be that high, if not higher.
Number 4 that I also think could be higher, could replace Orphan Black to me, is Dickinson, because it's central around a queer character, Emily Dickinson.
But is it fantasy? Is it fantasy?
Yes. Have you watched it?
No.
Oh my God. Yes. There's definitely fantasy elements in it.
Okay.
Yes.
Fantasy as in like a fantasy show.
As in she sees death.
Okay.
Portrayed by a rapper. I cannot remember his name right now.
Wiz Khalifa?
And like Wiz. Is it Wiz?
Wiz
Khalifa.
Is it Wiz?
I think so.
I would not want to go by Wiz.
But it is like
name.
But he plays death, and so she's very like, it's very like I would call it, it's whimsical. Very whimsical.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
I still haven't gotten to a show that I've watched. A Good Place is next, number 5.
Right, which is such a stretch.
Yes,
of fantasy
this
shows.
is the biggest stretch of definitely these.
Kind of, but I mean, it's
But again, it's because it's hinted at that Eleanor might, sort of maybe be bi, right?
I feel like overall
it says undoubtedly a bisexual woman.
Okay, and have either of you watched the whole series?
And then Janet lives outside the gender binary.
Okay. Okay.
So
I don't know, man.
Okay,
that's number 5.
Number 5, right? Not number 5.
That's a very high ranking.
Mm-hmm. Especially considering some of the other shows we're going to get to.
Oh, yeah. Agreed.
Marvel's Runaways. Yeah.
I haven't seen that either.
Never seen it.
Nope.
Sure, it's good.
I
have heard a lot of good
3
things.
Seasons. Oh, 2.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those shows that was there and then I never watched it and it was gone, and now it's on this list.
Yeah, it really came and went. So it says lesbian rainbow alien Coralina and bisexual goth witch Nico try to balance their light and dark for years, finding strength and hope. Okay. I mean, I like that. Are these are main characters? I'm not entirely sure. Maybe they are, but that's cool. Okay. Like it. Sense8.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard a lot of people talk about how good it was and the
same.
representation was. So,
yeah,
never seen it.
I've heard a lot about the representation on that, and I actually would really like to watch it. It's on Netflix, right? Yes, on Netflix.
I don't know.
According to this list, it is, yes.
Yeah.
We get to The Last of Us, number 8, which
Number 8.
I will say, I feel like as far as show quality, it's up there. I mean, it's such a good show. I just feel, I mean, they had one episode that dealt with Ellie and her situation, but it was one. I mean, is that enough to put it in the top 10? When it was like one episode that's sort of, I mean, I feel like it will probably, season 2 apparently, as it says, gets gayer, but
yeah,
for right now, for one season and one episode that kind of dealt with her orientation, top 10's a stretch. Maybe if it keeps going.
Yeah,
and I love the show, and I love that episode, and I love the
I love the way they did
nothing
it.
against it, but I'm just again compared to some of these other shows.
I feel like,
well done.
are they rewarding this show for a future season that has not been made yet?
Right.
I feel like
Maybe.
that's what this is. That's why it's
Storm
so
Reed
finalist.
won an Emmy, I believe, for that episode.
Yeah, I think you're right, for like guest star or something.
Yeah,
Was it
yeah.
guest star? Yeah.
It was
Okay.
a great episode.
Nothing against
and
it.
Great.
Definitely great representation.
But when you put it above number 9,
I know. That's like so insulting.
I feel like for the
yeah.
impact, for the fact that it was such a large part of the whole show, I just feel like Winona
9
Earp being
Winona
behind
Earp,
The
yeah.
Last of Us is
Yeah.
just
It doesn't make sense. I
No.
wonder what it was. What last year? What they ranked it at last year?
Yeah, we were unable to find the previous
Yeah, I would love
list.
to know.
Because this, Winona had 4 seasons, and Nicole Hott shows up in episode 2.
Yep.
So that's a lot of.
And it's a very clear from
Queer.
that point that there is
Yes.
chemistry in a sexual way between those two people. And
Yes.
yes.
And the showrunner, Emily Andress, have you heard of her? She chose not only to not bury Nicole as a gay, but she gave her a goddamn bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
Which is a clear message to fans of like, don't worry, I got you. I ain't gonna do it here. Like being so aware of the climate of gay characters on TV, to go that far and to say like she's bulletproof. I'm sorry, number 9, insult.
And I'm thinking here, was The Last of Us out? I don't know when this list came out last year. Was The Last of Us on this list as far as had it been released?
I don't
I
think so.
kind of feel like it had. No, I don't
think
remember.
so.
Maybe not. Nah, I don't think it was out yet.
I don't think so.
Okay, but then also, I'm looking at this.
Mm-hmm.
Is there no mention on The Last of Us here for the episode 3?
That's true.
That's,
but I guess it's
to me. I mean, again, that's one episode.
if you're just going women though.
I think because it's
lesbian, bisexual. Okay, I got you. It's not gay. It's not including gay, but okay, I got
Because
you.
that was
you.
that episode. That thing was good.
That's different. That's a
To
different
me,
discussion.
that would elevate it. But
Yeah.
because that was so well done.
Right. But
And,
no, I don't think that counts towards
Okay,
their.
I
it
guess I
doesn't
never
count.
noticed that it wasn't counting. Okay, that's an interesting way of putting it. Okay, I get it that it's auto straddle, but okay, not to even put it in the paragraph.
Hint at it. Yeah. Or
like
reference
another, because that's queer, because it says
Right.
queer. It doesn't.
You're not wrong.
It doesn't just say cis women of some kind. It's it should include all. Every like Winona, everyone welcome. Like why?
Yeah.
I don't know. That feels just a little. Feels weird to me that it wasn't mentioned.
I think you're
episode
absolutely right.
regarding yes.
And also back to Winona, they even point out here in their little description of the show, the show has queer characters, queer actors, and queer writers.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of queer. You don't get that on a lot of shows.
Yeah, no.
In all those 3 different departments. Like that's, come on, guys.
Right. And
9?
again, the longevity. So for 4 seasons.
And a movie.
Which is longer than The Runaways.
Yeah. Why don't they give them extra credit for a movie that hasn't been released yet? And if they're giving Last of Us extra credit.
I think it's all coming back to me now. The fact, I think I'm getting re-angry about this.
Yeah, sure.
That The Good Place is also ahead of Winona
Earp.
Earp.
Winona Earp. What the fuck? That doesn't
exactly.
Make Is it because it was on a major network and like have big names in it? Like that shouldn't be a part of your scoring. That's not fair.
No.
It's so yeah. Honestly, The Good Place has no business being in the top 10. Maybe not even the top 50.
Mm-hmm.
I concur.
And then Winona's number 9.
Because again, this list is called Best Shows. All encompassing of all time.
Right.
And as a show, I would say Winona Earp is pretty firmly
queer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that whole like stare sex scene. Have people forgotten about that? Mm-hmm. Have Autostraddle? Have we forgotten?
That should have just like shot it up to 2 or 3, or
Honestly.
I mean, I think Winona Earp and Batwoman and Buffy could easily be top 3.
That is good company. They all should be there.
Yep.
Top 3. I totally agree.
And then Dickinson's, I'm fine. Good Place. Yeah. Go back after
Runaways,
20 or 30 or whatever. Okay.
10, Supergirl. Now, I didn't watch it in its later years, but I was watching when Alex met Maggie and had her coming out story, and it was great. That was a well-told story. I really liked it. And maybe people, faded, with their enthusiasm as it went on. When Maggie left, I feel like there was, and I feel like I know Alex got married at some point. I can't remember if there was like upset people at they were upset about Kara and what's her name?
Yeah. Yes. Lee.
That was why people were mad. But I couldn't remember if they were happy with Alex's story.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. So I can't really comment because I only watched it to a certain point, but I really liked her original story, what they did.
Yeah. And so Kyler's on a new show now that was also on this list. Not for her character, but one of the characters in the show. I'm trying to find it. I feel like it airs on I think it airs on Peacock because I think I saw a thing for it.
Peacock?
My God. It has it's like a time travel show that I actually want to watch. But she plays a mom.
I think I heard about that.
Yeah. Okay. There's some less The Way Home, that's what it's called. Yeah. Yeah. It has Andy McDowell on it too.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. So,
all right.
I don't know if we want to hit everything, but apparently Paper Girls is 11, and that lasted one whole season.
Right.
Russian Doll.
It's good. It is good.
Yeah.
But also one season and one character out of 4 main characters. Right. Yeah.
And remember this show. Remember Paper Girls. In the next 10 or so shows that we're going to talk about, remember this is 11, okay?
Okay. Okay.
All right, let's keep going.
Russian Doll I never watched, but I've heard wonderful things about it. Here's the one that gets me, and I didn't even watch the thing. Legends of Tomorrow. I heard so much appreciation for their storyline. Katie Lotz and Jess McCallan, Sarah Lance, Ava Sharp. I mean, I heard raves about the show itself. I heard raves about them.
Right.
Yeah, I think
6 seasons.
I don't
That's
know
why.
It had a good run. It was well reviewed. I don't know why this isn't ahead of some of these other shows further up.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. Paper Girls is higher than Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah, that surprises me.
Wait, it gets better.
Okay.
I've started Station 11.
I liked it. Again, I don't remember why it's so high.
It's very high. Black Lightning, never seen it, but again, I've heard it's very good. It deals with a lot of they have a good lesbian storyline. Awesome. Great. It's definitely a sci-fi fantasy show. Haunting of Hill House is a limited series. There's a lesbian character who is played by Kate Siegel. I'm sorry. You can't put it this high. It's like, no, guys, come on. No.
What was its counterpart that I really did like that I fast forwarded through all the scary parts? That was even more gay. Where's that one? Of Bly Manor?
It's it doesn't have as good of a rating as this one.
Is it
on this
on
list?
Here somewhere?
Even though that's about a
to me that was
that
very
is focused
featured.
on a lesbian storyline. But
Absolutely.
no. This one character who is played by a very attractive actress. No, it's way higher. Like, oh, okay, that's okay.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that and in my mind I think I thought it was encompassing both, but now as in like that's like its second season, but no, it's just its own thing.
Yeah.
And it is rated higher than the much, much, much gayer and really great, well done
other one.
Yeah.
Is it the Perfectly Splendid one?
Perfectly Splendid.
Black Mirror.
I will die on this hill.
I mean, I have no problems with this one episode.
This is one, again, it's one
the whole
episode
series.
out of all the seasons it's had. That one episode is good enough to put it any place it wants to be on this list. I love this episode. Characters were great. The writing was great. You got to watch it twice to even appreciate it. If you haven't watched the San Junipero episode of Black Mirror, go do it right now. It's amazing.
I got no qualms. No
got no
qualms
qualms wherever they want to put it. I love it. Also, the next one, Willow. But the worst part of this is not available to stream or buy or ever watch again. Cries forever.
Yeah,
that's written on the thing. It's completely wiped off the face of existence here.
This show had such potential.
And I'm glad it got as high as it did. It was great.
Yeah, me too.
It was fun. It was funny. People are stupid if they thought it was dumb. Come on.
So I'm going to go ahead and read the description because I feel like it really encompasses my feelings as well. It says, Willow comes in hot with the queer stuff of dreams. These dreamy things include, but are not limited to, a lady knight who has sworn to protect her princess, and princess being a sword wielder herself, a grumpy traveler seeing through them, pretending that they're just best friends, and truth plums forcing them to finally confront those feelings. It really is quite magical.
Yeah,
I'm so sad to even look at this picture.
Me too.
And feel like it's gone. It was literally
how is it gone? Like it's
everything.
A tragedy. It's a tragedy.
I just loved everything about it. I love.
I would rewatch that.
Yeah,
it was out. I feel like it's one I appreciated more as it goes. Yeah, I would.
Only you could.
I think other people would if they hadn't ripped it away.
Of course. Just leave it on Disney Plus or put it on Hulu
Warwick
or something.
Davis more than that.
Put it on Hulu.
Everything.
Put it on Hulu or put it on Amazon. You have to pay for it. Like
Tubi. Go get it.
I know, right?
19, so Lost Girl. I think
great.
Could have been
problems.
Again, I feel like that should be way higher. Actually,
that's fair. Yeah,
absolutely above, say, Stations 11
or Good Place.
Even Russian Doll, and yes, definitely Good Place. Lost Girl is literally 4 to 5 seasons of the main character, and other,
Yeah.
Yes,
doesn't make sense.
I guess rounding out the top 20 is Jessica Jones, which I never watched, but
no idea.
Here we are. Also, I mean, like I said, if you want to pick out highlights, Haunting of Bly Manor, Tara, like you said, is 22. Yeah, so it's a little further down. It was really good. A show that we both all enjoy, Xena, made the list at 24.
Considering 24.
Consider they never even officially made them gay.
They kissed all the time.
A couple times.
All the time.
Okay, and then we have, I'm also going to throw this out to First Kill being number 23. Which, yes, it's very queer. It was on for 1 season. Much love to the Save First Kill folks. But again, 1 season, and some of these, it is, yes, one above Xena and above quite a few others we can go through here.
Like any one season show does not deserve to be over multi-season shows.
I agree.
Except for the one episode of Black Mirror.
And Person of Interest. Might be of interest to you, Wendy. Coming in 27.
I'd say.
It's not bad.
Number 27. I'll take it, seeing as how the whole the show in itself didn't revolve around their story, but my enjoyment did. I mean, I love the whole show, but I mean, yeah. Thank you for putting him on the list.
And I love here at 28, Star Trek just gets
just
multiple
Star
shows
Trek.
all together.
Yeah, like a bunch of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
Discovery, Deep Space Nine, Picard, Strange New Worlds, 1993 to present.
Yeah.
That's
That's
just
fair.
says, instead of having the Star Trek universe take up multiple spots, I merged them. Apparently they did with American Horror Story Anthology. Okay. Yeah, sure. I appreciate
You good with that? Are you okay
I
with
don't know
that?
about 28. I'm sure I'm going to run into several other ones that should definitely go above multiple just thrown together Star Trek episodes. But we'll see. I'm just scrolling. I'm scrolling through. Okay, like this one, Motherland, Fort Salem. I do believe belongs above
higher on the list.
Star Trek hodgepodge.
Yeah.
And I love Star Trek. But Motherland, Fort Salem, for sure, I think should be quite a bit higher on the list, actually.
All right.
In the top 15, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to jump to number 37, Warehouse
Okay.
13, which has what still remains one of my favorite women scenes of all time. When they said goodbye for the last time, but be that as it may, it was still one of my favorite scenes ever.
Yeah. I love the show, and I do appreciate that, even though, again, the characters were knowingly and deliberately playing attracted to each other in that way. It was never really, it was definitely subtext. But the actors were aware and were playing it.
Right.
Not, as if it were, that was how it was
Scripted.
Yeah. So, but I appreciate that it's actually this high up on the list, because if you watch it, if you've seen this, then you just know, why. Because it was great. It was the chemistry between these two was just, off the charts, and I'm really glad that the actresses leaned into it. Have you seen this, Kat? Warehouse?
I haven't. No.
Oh,
I know you guys talk about it all the time.
I'm shocked you didn't watch that show, because it just seems like such a show that you love.
Yeah. Kind of like a X-Files-y kind of thing. A little bit.
Kind of.
Maybe.
In the sense that it's a little more comical and lighthearted than X-Files.
Yeah, and it's
Got it.
more of a, old artifacts, and it's kind of
Oh,
more
cool.
like,
Okay.
I don't know, how would you describe it? Like they use a Farnsworth device. It's kind of more like the librarians, or kind of like a,
Okay.
yeah, definitely not as.
It's great though. I love that show. Saul Rubinek,
spooky.
my guy. A lot
Yeah.
of Kate Mulgrew shows up. Lindsay Wagner. A lot of great sci-fi type people show up.
I definitely think the Umbrella Academy should be higher on the list.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of shows on this.
There are so many shows. I'm just scrolling and scrolling. It's
There's a lot that I've never heard of.
Same.
I mean, props to this person that wrote the article for
that's a lot.
I am going to go ahead and say the She-Hulk, as much as I love that show, screw all you haters. I don't think it belongs at 42.
Yeah. I like it too, but no.
It just says, okay. I remember being upset about this one too. Now that I read this, I remember reading this last year.
Oh, really?
If this show was being ranked on queer content alone, it would be a lot lower. But the truth is, even though the queer content is minimal, the show itself is a blast. This I remember from last year. And this is what nearly completely took away the credibility of this list for me.
Yeah.
Basically, it says, yes, Tatiana Maslany's character, Jennifer Walters, her best friend and assistant, Nikki, is one of the first openly queer women in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But granted, it's a blink and you miss it moment when she reveals that fact. And she's a great highlight in the series, but you don't see her that much.
Right.
And yet it's the 42 out of 100. of top lesbian, bisexual, queer shows. And it admits, I totally remember this from last year. If this show was being ranked on queer content alone, because why would it?
Right, why would you do that?
Like this list is a place for the shows for queer content alone.
No.
Hey.
I like it. I like that Andor made the cut. 62.
Yeah, I mean,
and they didn't have a ton, but
No.
someone just likes Andor, which I get. But
yeah,
know.
I mean, okay.
This should really just be like red.
I feel like they just threw Mr. Robot's on there. That has some cool stuff. They just threw a whole lot of shows on there that they probably liked. I mean, how do you really judge if Doom Patrol or Peacemaker should be one ahead of the other?
I'm going to speak to that because Peacemaker, is a great show and very funny and actually like a little heartfelt. Great show.
Okay.
Looking forward to season 2, which will come out in about 5 years. However, there is a gay character or a lesbian character, and she and her wife are featured. She's like a main character. She's part of the team, and their relationship is like a highlight of the show. It's very well done. So anyway, I'm gonna throw that out there. But I get your point. But actually, just randomly Peacemaker, totally get it. And actually, if I'm looking at some of these other rando ones in the top 50, I think Peacemaker should be higher.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, I'm just looking for some other random ones that stick out to me. There's so many.
There's so many here that I've never
There's Game of Thrones is in number 58.
I mean, yeah. The general treatment of women on that show, I feel like they should lose a lot of points.
Yeah.
Like, that show's not, I wouldn't say it's queer friendly or even women friendly.
Mr. Robot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that.
One of the only scenes I saw of that show.
Literally the only you watched 2 whole episodes of that show, but one of them had a lot of,
Yeah, when she runs through the airport to try to stop her or to get getting on the plane, and it's to Run Away With Me by oh my God, Carly Rae Jepsen.
Oh, that's cute.
So good.
Great show.
Such a great show. Scene.
And they're great characters together too. Apparently that's one of those that they kind of didn't realize the audience was going to take to like as much as they did. And then they started going with it. Silo made it because they have one character who I guess wife died and now she just hangs out in the bottom of the silo. I don't remember anything about that. She had a wife that died 25 years ago and now she just hangs out by herself. Maybe I knew she was lesbian. I don't know, but it made the list. I guess she was.
Okay, I have a dispute here. I have a dispute with Arrow being at number 74 with Nissa Al Ghul.
Yeah.
And then again, Katie Lotz, who then transferred over to Legends.
Yeah.
It's a little too low. I mean, high. Like,
it
should be better.
Should be higher.
Higher on the list.
Higher.
Yeah. I've heard of Arrow. I haven't really spent much time.
I mean, especially in the first couple seasons, like featured heavily. It's great. So, well, friend of the pod.
Yeah, Katrina Law.
Oh, that's right, Katrina Law. Big fan of Katrina Law.
Yeah, Katrina Law's awesome.
She can come back anytime she wants.
Come on back.
Okay, no, I mean,
come on back.
Midnight Mass. The Shannara Chronicles.
Firefly.
How is that not higher?
What is it?
Shannara Chronicles is a post-apocalyptic and high fantasy. Opening scene features an elven girl running blindfolded. Oh, okay, blah, 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 whatever. Then they added bisexual rover. My friend Ashley loves the show when it was on. But anyway, this was like a very well-known coupling. And I am surprised it is not higher.
All right.
A little bit. Okay. Caprica. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
It was on and it wasn't.
Yes, there's your silo. I am not okay with this. Okay, how is this not higher? And again, I know it was only one season, but it is featured around non-binary queer character, right? So
Silo?
No, not Silo.
Well, I don't know. You didn't say.
Oh, no. Okay, I see how that was confusing.
Yeah.
Number 89 is the show. I am not okay with this.
Okay.
Confused me too.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Anyway.
Okay. So you feel like I am not okay with this should be higher on the list.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I do believe that. Okay, I'm just taking a little gander here at these last 10. I can't speak to
any of them.
Strongly.
Oh, Baker Queen. That's cool. Baker and Queen. That was a Tim Rozon show.
And
for a minute.
Firefly, as much as I love Firefly, and I literally just watched one episode like 2 days ago. That was one that hinted it was more than hinting to Anara's like bisexuality, all of that, or I think it's listed here as the spaceship's resident sex worker, also called a companion in the show, who are like very highly regarded.
Right.
Could have explored relationships with women further if the show had continued. It says, as it stands, she takes on female clients occasionally, seemingly by choice and not out of necessity. So, yes, and seems to have a bit of a history with one of the other, a different character, but that might be me projecting, says the author of this article. I get it. And yes, there's, I mean, I love Inara, and I hope that were true, that if it kept going, maybe we get to see more. But I mean, it is 97, so I really can't.
Yeah. And like, what show
I don't know.
would you like, I can't think of a show that's not on the list. You know what I mean? Like, what
right.
would you switch it out with?
Did they miss anything?
Yeah, I can't imagine they did.
Right. So I'm fine with that, I guess. But it's funny.
There's one, and then there's like I said, this is just sci-fi fantasy. Like NCIS Hawaii's not on here. Right. Any of these other shows where it's not sci-fi fantasy, it doesn't make the cut.
Right.
So if you did, I'd be curious, just shows in general, and see where they would fall in this list.
Wish it was just representation instead of shows, like representation in sci-fi and fantasy shows.
Mm-hmm. Like ranking the representation, not the show overall.
Right.
Because then you wouldn't have a good place on there. You know, like that's just not. And it doesn't make sense that it's that high. It's so high.
No, it's so high. Yeah, if it was
like
70 or even 49 or 90, no prob.
No prob, Bob.
Sure.
It's we went past it, but the 100.
Yes.
It's like not very like it's.
I think they're just.
Is it? It's pretty low.
The death took the fire out of that one.
That's fair, but like that Buffy, that was a huge death.
But I feel like that one, something about that one really. I mean, that kicked off Lexicon. That started a whole thing,
Right, and I would think because of that, like not just taking into account what happened with the show, but the fandom around it, the movement that kind of started. You think they'd get extra credit for that, but no. Yeah. It's at 56.
Wow, 56.
56.
That's wow. Okay.
And Quantum Leap is ahead of it on the list.
Are you serious?
I don't know. Didn't know there was anything queer about the remake of Quantum Leap.
I have no idea.
You're telling me that the queer representation of Quantum Leap was more significant,
revolutionary
than 100.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know. I just missing the point of this list, maybe.
I'd say, let's make our own list, but I don't have time to watch all those shows.
A lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Too much work.
This is way easier.
I just like talking about other people's lists. Look, overall, it's a fine list, but then we just would rearrange some of it,
for
our own scoring system.
Yeah. And I, obviously super biased, but like the first thing I would do on this list is to move Xena into the top 10. But I'm super biased.
Yeah. Oh, here I'm just reading some of the comments.
Oh.
And most of them are actually like very, very, very well thought out, like good comment. Yeah, like
That's nice.
Or like here's one from Fishwife fan that says, really surprised that Wheel of Time didn't make the list at all. The main character is a queer woman, and her paramour is a queer Black woman and the most powerful person in the world. No queer characters have been killed off. It's gotten rave reviews from critics. The showrunner is gay, and it shows. Seems like it's hit multiple criteria that would give it bonus points, but it still didn't even make it into the top 100. Wheel of Time is definitely a fantasy show. I've only seen a couple episodes, I'm not like in it enough to.
Yeah,
but it's interesting.
It's a very good point. Here's another good comment by I added a name. Did the writers throw darts to determine the order? Xena at 24, but The Good Place at 5, and Dickinson at 4? Just because the show has fantastical elements does not a fantasy make. Seriously, so many of the shows on this list owe a debt to Xena. Which walked so the rest of them could run or shamble in the case of The Walking Dead. There you go. So there you go.
Okay.
People have opinions.
Right.
They're all valuable.
Yes.
They are. We look forward to next year's list. Maybe we'll be as incensed about some of them.
And I will remember She-Hulk again if it's on there, and The Good Place.
Yeah, that one, I mean, yeah. I'll never get over that. The Good Place.
We'll see what new shows join it next year, if any.
Yeah.
Oh. See, again, it popped in my head. League of Their Own. I'm like, no, wait, that's not sci-fi fantasy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, all right.
That's a good one.
What's your opinion? What's your number one? Ooh, we should ask that. What's your number one show that would fall into this criteria? You can tweet about it on the Twitter at Snot Podcast with 1D.
Or Facebook and Instagram at She Nerds Out Podcast.
Or send us an email at shenerdsout@gmail.com. Go to our website, shenerdsout.com. You can check out old episodes, get some merch, send us a voicemail, or buy us a beer. It's one stop snopping.
Well done.
Wow.
It almost sounded recorded. It was so good.
I know.
It wasn't. I just watched
low.
it and I was like, wow, it sounds so good. Okay.
All right. Well, on that note, wow, it's dark where I am now. We've been talking a while. The sun has gone down on the snot.
You know what, Wendy? It's weird. It's dark where I am, too.
Ooh.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, but you can't tell.
You're right. You can't tell, Kat.
Oh, you mean you're in your box?
Yeah, in my box. It's dark. The sunlight has left me.
Ooh.
All right. Well, we're going to recover. I think our next job is watch every single episode of every single show on this list, so we'll be well informed. No? Okay.
No,
well,
just
we
watch
have
one.
stick to Cleopatra 25,
Yeah, we have homework.
25 then.
Watch one episode of Cleo, and then read the first 10 chapters of Cleat Cute for our book club.
Yeah, don't forget. Reading is fun.
Reading is fun and
right.
cool.
Well, until we see you again, She Nerds Out.
She Nerds Out. We're girls that like nerds.